Hello everybody, it's your friendly digital technology librarian Christy here, and as we are heading into the Valentine's Day weekend, I just really wanted to do a quick heads up and reminder that our Hoopla Digital service is really fantastic, and it also offers a really wonderful wide breadth of music selections. I know when Valentine's Day comes up, I'm always looking for really cool songs to listen to, whether I be in the mood for like a happy peppy love song or something maybe a little bit more mournful or something angry and angsty. And the great thing about Hoopla is that it covers all of those moods and emotions. Um, they have a really fantastic and broad catalog of albums. Whether you are into adult contemporary, whether you like indie singer-songwriters and indie bands in general, if you like electronica, they have something for you. I listen to a lot of artists that are really hard to find on some of these mainstream services that I have, and every once in a while I'm able to find them on Hoopla, and I'm always so pleasantly surprised. So if you've never used the service for music before, make sure you check it out and see if maybe some of your favorite artists that you're not finding elsewhere are possibly available on here. And again, everybody loves the instant gratification of just being able to see something and check it out. The other fantastic thing is, as always, all of the selections are available entirely free with the use of your Milan-Berlin library card. You get 10 checkouts every single month. Every checkout rolls over on the first of the next month. So if you run through them really quickly, all you have to do is wait the 30 days and then you've got a clean slate. No fines or fees ever, and that's always a really wonderful perk as well. So without any further ado, I want to go ahead and get into these recommendations really quickly. All 5 of these recs happen to be really mainstream pop. I didn't really want to try and go for like the indie stuff right now, just because I think mainstream pop is obviously going to have the broadest amount of appeal. It's also, for me, the music that I forget the fastest. So hopefully some of these titles might jog fond memories or make you want to actually go back and listen to these albums. And all 5, of course, are available on Hoopla Digital for free. And they all come from within the last decade. So let's go ahead and jump in. My first really quick recommendation is for Doo-Wops and Hooligans, which is by, of course, Bruno Mars. This one is just a pretty straightforward Bruno Mars album. It's really peppy, but it has a ton of memorable songs like Just the Way You Are, Marry Me, if you're into something that's like happy and chipper, or if you're looking for something a little bit more dark, a little bit more angry. Grenade is also on this album. It was really the first one that got a huge amount of airplay, this particular album anyway, and it's one of those that I go back to every once in a while. You know, it's just very catchy, very poppy, and a lot of fun. My next recommendation is for Multiply, which is, of course, by Ed Sheeran. You can't have a list including love songs if you don't include an Ed Sheeran album. I think it's actually required. Multiply is great. It has the songs Thinking Out Loud, Nina, Tenerife Sea, tons of other ones, and it's just very trademark Ed Sheeran, singer-songwriter but with a lot of danceable beats that you're definitely going to be humming for hours after they play. And again, Thinking Out Loud was just such a huge song over the last decade that I couldn't not include this particular album on the list. Number 3 is probably my favorite on the entire list, mainly because I just really love this album. In the Lonely Hour by Sam Smith. There is not a single song on this album that I don't love. The big radio play songs were Stay With Me, of course, Lay Me Down, but if you pick the deluxe edition of this album, available of course on Hoopla Digital, also includes some really amazing covers, like his terribly wonderfully mournful How Will I Know, which is of course originally by Whitney Houston, and it's just so beautiful. I mean, really, truly, it's just a beautiful cover. So please do pick up In the Lonely Hour, the deluxe edition. So much awesome on there. If you like Sam Smith at all, this is the album to really check out. It's just amazing from beginning to end. My next recommendation is Illuminate by Shawn Mendes. Mendes is another one of those singer-songwriters, gets tons of airplay, but has a lot of really heavier beats and a lot of catchy tunes and hooks. Illuminate includes Treat You Better, Mercy, There's Nothing Holding Me Back, definitely songs that you've heard a million times, but that you can definitely go back to and not hate. They're It's a young album. I would definitely say one with a lot of longing in it, as opposed to like definitive um, set goals or anything like that. There's not a lot of reflection. Like I said, it feels like a young album, but it also is an album that is really fun to listen to. I do find that a lot of pop music that has that sort of early era outlook is very fun to listen to, even as an adult who has left those years long behind. So if you're into something that will definitely keep your head bobbing, if you want sort of, I think it's definitely a good car album, I feel. If you're looking for something like that, Illuminate by Shawn Mendes, excellent pick. And my last recommendation, um, I had misgivings about putting this album on simply because I think this artist has significantly better albums out there. But when I think of love songs, this is the album that I go to. 1989 by Taylor Swift. This album includes This Love, Blank Space, Wildest Dreams. I do think it was a big turning point for Swift in general, where she really started to look at her career as not just that of a country singer, but really branching into pop, and not just pop, but really just being an artist herself. And the songs that are on there are really interesting. They're fun, and they're really quite catchy. I definitely find myself humming all of these all the time, even if I haven't listened to them on the radio in ages. So they're earworms that will never leave. If you are a Taylor Swift fan, again, there are definitely albums I think that she's put out that are stronger, but I just think that this one marks a certain point in her career that was really big for her and has a lot of really strong love related songs. So it seems like the right choice for a short list of Valentine's Day picks. So that was my very brief, very truncated list of pop recommendations. There are literally thousands and thousands of albums available through Hoopla Digital, and I strongly recommend you check them out. They even have a current list of different Valentine's Day centric titles. I know that they have several collections of love songs that are available, you know, like the Now music, but all focused on love songs. So if you're just looking for a general collection of songs, they also have that available, and it will be one of the featured choices. So please, please, please do check out Hoopla Digital's music selection. Great choices and great artists to discover. And with that, I'm going to call this quick list finished. If you have any recommendations for fellow listeners, please, please, please do make them in the comments below. I'm always looking for recommendations, I know, so I, for one, would love to hear them. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye!